After 2 weeks missing at sea, Samuel Moss has been found alive.
Our news is brought to you by Alive, the nation's newest and best LTE network.
Good to be alive. Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Topping news tonight, an amazing story of being lost at sea for over 2 weeks ends with good news as Samuel Moss Jr. was rescued by the U.S. Coast Guard off the Keys of Florida yesterday. Today, we spoke with his parents who said everyone had given up hope, but they knew he was still alive. George Urbain has their touching story in this report.
After 22 days, the parents of Samuel Moss are rejoicing at the good news of finding their son alive.
God is amazing.
1 week after Samuel Moss Jr. went missing at sea on a trip to Andros, his parents were emotional today as they held each other at their Park Street home. They call Sammy now their prodigal son. Smith said she was told to plan a memorial service for her son, but she could not accept the fact that her son could be dead.
You had to pray hard. Couple of nights I couldn't eat. I had to just fast and pray. I never was a no Christian, but we grew up in church. You know when you fall by the wayside, but you know. And everybody keeps saying, some people saying, of a memorial service, I said, Lord, you can't bring the Noah's back without a body. I said, Lord, I can't accept that.
Smith said that what made matters even worse is that she was faced with hearing the news of the discovery of bodies in waters near Bimini and Andros on what felt like a daily basis. But somehow she still kept the faith.
I said, Lord, you can't fail me. I said, Lord, the last time I see my son was on the 12. I said, Lord, you can't do this to me. We're ready for that. When I was hearing all them bodies they pick up in Bimini and Andres, I said, Lord, don't let me. My son.
This isn't the first time the parents have lived through this nightmare because of their young son's love of boats. He went missing last year around the same time for 3 days. But thankfully yesterday, after 2 weeks and 1 day, Smith said good news finally came.
I was standing in the front of the road. I was like lost to say, Lord, this is 2 weeks and 1 day was yesterday. I say, Lord, I say, where he is, you promised me. So man, when Kishley come, Kishley and a friend, a close friend, I'm like, oh Lord, she blew the horn, and when she blew the horn, she didn't even poke her head out yet. I know that was joy. I say that's joy. I start shouting. I say, thank you, Lord. Thank you.
On a live video posted on Facebook today, Moss Jr. could be heard giving an account of what went wrong. Once he left Bimini, he said he noticed that his GPS wasn't functioning fully. He said he went on land after he had an encounter with wild hogs and bushes. He went back to his boat and attempted to get closer inland. Moss said he also injured his arm when he fell out of a tree he climbed in trying to get cell phone service in Andros.
I drift from all the way up north and just like south now. I said, but if I did drift from here straight across, I'd be in Key West. I said, Peggy could be in Key West until a certain day, so I gave her 3 days to drift to her. Because you got to drive a boat down there, right?
Oh Lord, Peggy.
No, I drive. Or you drive your car? I said, well, anyways, someone could stop me in a sailboat because only sailboats is be down Key West and yachts. So, man, after that, I said, okay, I ain't make it. So the breeze shift again. I said, okay, I can make it to the end of the Everglades of Miami. As long as I don't pass Hollywood, Florida, I good.
The young boater says he called a boat captain who spotted his boat off the coast of Key West and called the Coast Guard. Despite 2 near-death experiences at sea, Moss's father says he knows his son and this won't be his last time going on a boat.
I know one thing, my son, this is his second chance to survival. But that's his life. God bless him with that. I know my son. Even though he wasn't on one accord, he came back on the boat. I know he came back on the boat. That's his life. He came back on the boat. Even if he die on the boat. That's my son. And his little brother, he left coconuts.
Reporting for our news, I'm Giorgio Bain.
Thanks, Giorgio. Well, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis says a $2.5 billion project is on the way for West End Grand Bahama. Minnis made the announcement during a nationally broadcast address that focused heavily on the economic developments and plans for Grand Bahama. Jared Higgs tells us more.
Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis says the restoration of Grand Bahama's economy is key to the survival of the entire nation. Touting tourism developments on the island, including the addition of 2 cruise ships, Minnis announced a deal in the early stages for West End.
The government has recently received an application in relation to West End, Grand Bahama, for the Grand Palm Beach property. In 2008, the previous developer went into foreclosure, and the government has now been advised that Grand Palm Beach Acquisitions Limited has entered into a purchase and sale agreement for the purchase of a large-scale resort known as Gin Sur Mer in the West End of Grand Bahama.
Minnis says Grand Beach Acquisition Limited will construct, repair, and revitalize 246 rooms in 3 hotels. Also on the agenda is a banquet room, 116 branded hotel residences, 1,000 other residences, a hotel casino site, an IFR-rated airport, and many other amenities. The deal is currently before the National Economic Council, a subcommittee of Cabinet. Another important deal for Grand Bahama is the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort. Minnis acknowledged that the deal is still a ways off from being completed, but if all goes as planned, he believes it could be a boost to the work they hope to see done in West End.
This year, we intend to complete the sale of Grand Lucayan and Memories property. After they are reopened, the economy of Grand Bahama will improve significantly, including with a tremendous increase in employment and related business and economic opportunities.
On a recent trip to Houston, Minnis made his pitch to Texas business leaders, branding Freeport as a technology hub. Now, Minnis, who criticized the Christie administration for its travel habits, says he intends to make more of these investment trips in the near future.
To boost investment and growth, it is my intention to undertake several investment promotion trips to include Canada, the United States, Europe, East Asia, and South America.
Minnis also addressed the Commercial Enterprises Act, the progress of the Bahama Resort, the change in management at the Ocean Club Resort, and the 100-room condominium hotel development at the Point. Reporting for our news, I'm Jared Higgs.
Well, in his first national address for the new year, Dr. Minnis also announced a new low-cost housing program. Minnis says they plan to offer lots for sale here in New Providence, and purchasers will have to build their own home.
This year, we will introduce an ambitious housing program. Through this program, the government will provide extremely low-cost lots to potential first-time homeowners in New Providence. The lots will be supplied with necessary utilities. The homeowners will be responsible for building their own homes. They may utilize their own architect or utilize pre-existing plans offered by the government.
Minnis says there will be a time frame that land purchasers will have to adhere to, and the program will also be spread to the Family Islands.
The potential homeowners will have 2 years to build their homes at duty-free concessionary rates. Because the lots will be inexpensive, we expect scores of first-time homeowners to take advantage of this program. The program will be extended to Family Islands, thus encouraging Family Island ownership, second home ownership, and entrepreneurship development of bed and breakfast properties.
Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands says the recent dump fire did not result in any reports of health issues from residents. However, provisions have been set in place at clinics and hospitals.
It's a very vexing problem, and we pray that the efforts to get it under control are successful and that it minimizes the aggravation and the respiratory issues that arise from exposure to that noxious smoke. We have not had a significant run on the clinics in terms of people with respiratory complaints as yet. We are standing by in the event that we do. But thus far, there has not been a great problem.
Sands says it is the plan of the Minnis administration to place this vexing issue in the past.
I think every single Bahamian is interested in seeing the backside of this problem. So as we proceed with the completion of the RFP process for the deconstruction and recreation of a landfill, hopefully this will be the last time we have to deal with this disaster with smoke and burning and aggravation.
Just how far is too far for officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force? Over the past 2 days, a video of a man being struck in the face by police went viral, with many questioning whether officers abused their power. Today, National Security Minister Marvin Dames urging everyone utilizing social media to keep calm.
The matter will be investigated thoroughly, and then a determination will be made at the end of the investigation as to whether the officer or officers involved are at fault.
The cell phone video, which is 1 minute and 40 seconds long, shows police officers escorting a handcuffed man along Prince George Wharf. The man shouts he did nothing wrong, but it's what happens next that has sparked outrage among some social media users.
Jeffrey, walk! I do nothing but happen, mate. Oh, Jesus!
Police then proceed to take the man to the station. The National Security Minister says people shouldn't jump to conclusions so fast based on what they saw online.
I looked at it, all right? Are there some concerns? Well, I don't know the matter in its entirety. And I think we have to be careful that when we see a brief clip of something, we don't jump to conclusions, assuming that the police would have done something terribly wrong.
Dames said he saw the video, as did many other people.
There is a process. What you saw was a clip. You didn't see the incident in its entirety, and so I will not speak to the incident itself, only to say this. When persons are aggrieved, there is a place that they can go to voice their complaints, to make an official complaint. The matter is investigated.
With the rampant use of social media and the ability for people to gain information, good or bad, at the snap of a finger, Dame said the police force now needs to keep up. And with cell phones providing multiple angles to incidents, Dame said the time will come when people will be able to see things through the eyes of an officer via body cam.
The police, during the latter part of last year, would have been going through any number of testings. And so we hope that sometime during the course of this year, body cams will be a reality. So that's a clear indication that we're not in the business of concealing anybody's behavior. We want to be as transparent as we possibly can.
Police are searching for the driver who struck and killed a pedestrian on Carmichael Road, then fled the scene. According to police reports, the victim was walking along Carmichael Road in the vicinity of Blue Hill Road shortly after 8 last night when a gold Honda Accord hit him and kept going. EMS personnel pronounced the man dead on the scene. This latest traffic fatality comes 3 days after a woman who was hit by 2 vehicles died on Boyd Road. Only one of the drivers stayed on the scene. Investigations continue. Still to come on our news, business insiders come together to discuss technological advancements. The details are after this break.